Washington is at it again. Democrats are playing games with your money, your security, and our troops. Republicans just offered a clean bill to keep the lights on, and the left wants to tank it for politics. If you're sick of the lies and power plays, stick around, because I'm breaking it all down right now.
Mr. Speaker, this rule is pretty straightforward. With respect to the continuing resolution, it's simple. It's a clean, short-term continuing resolution to prevent disruptions to national security and programs that our constituents depend on. It's a bill that extends government funding until November 21st. What my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are trying to argue for, they're trying to insist that a health care discussion gets inserted into this, but that is not a debate for a September funding matter. They're really trying to insert unrelated matters into the middle of a clean government extension. And I don't think that's going to work, because if the government shuts down because they're making this last stand, something that we will be addressing in the future, it will solely be blamed on Democrats if the government shuts down, because we are not playing politics with this at all. We're just trying to keep the lights on. And what they're trying to do is insert a last-ditch effort to regain their footing because their party is reeling right now. This clean extension of government funding will ensure that the government remains open and working for the nation. It shouldn't be partisan, but if Democrats force a shutdown, it could cost the American taxpayer billions due to back-paid furloughed workers, increased costs from delayed starts, and constrained economic growth. No matter how hard the Democrats will try to characterize this CR, they tried to characterize this as a partisan maneuver, always claiming that we're hurting every special interest group. It can't make it true. Remember, virtually every single House Democrat voted for the last 4 years under the Biden administration voted yes on every continuing resolution. In fact, over the last several years, many Democrats, including Democrat leaders, have made comments about the harm a government shutdown would cause. Minority leader says it's about the harm. Families will be hurt. Farmers will be hurt if the government shuts down. Others have said, let's take a moment to see what's truly at the center of this story. It's about the service members who will work without a paycheck. Some House Democrats accused House Republicans of leading the country toward a reckless government shutdown that will take food off the table for mothers and children and force service members to work without pay. Make no mistake, if Democrats vote against this simple government funding bill that will extend funding to November 21st, they are the very people who are hurting those who they have claimed Republicans have perpetually tried to hurt, and unfairly and untruly. So, Mr. Speaker, again, this rule is straightforward. First and foremost, we're here to honor the life of a husband, a father, a friend. Charlie Kirk was a proud American and a happy warrior for his faith and this country that he loved. The kind of person that inspired millions to engage in our democracy. It is right that we take the time as a body to honor him and condemn political violence in all forms. Finally, and secondly, we must keep the government open and allow the appropriations process to continue. While CRs, continuing resolutions, are never ideal, and by definition, they are not all-encompassing. If we're truly to address—
Welcome back to Jace Manoa. If you're new here, make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the truth the mainstream media refuses to cover. Now, I just finished watching this speech on the continuing resolution to keep the government open, and let me tell you, this is exactly what's wrong with Washington. The Republicans put forward a simple, straightforward bill, no gimmicks, no backroom deals, just a clean extension to keep the lights on until November 21st. But instead of working together, Democrats are playing politics again. They're trying to jam in unrelated issues like healthcare just to stir up division. Here's the bottom line. If the government shuts down, it won't be because Republicans failed. It'll be because Democrats chose games over governance. And you better believe the American people will suffer. Our troops could be forced to work without pay, families could lose benefits, and taxpayers could be on the hook for billions in back pay and economic delays. That's money right out of your pocket. What's crazy is Democrats know this. They've spent years warning about how harmful a shutdown would be. They've said it hurts families, farmers, and service members. And now, when Republicans offer a reasonable solution, suddenly they flip the script and act like it's some partisan stunt. That's hypocrisy at its finest. And let's not forget, this session also honored Charlie Kirk, a man of faith, a proud American, a fighter who inspired millions. It is right and just to pause and recognize his legacy, and to condemn political violence in every form. That's what unity should look like. But sadly, Democrats can't even come together on something as basic as keeping the government open. So here's my take. Republicans are doing their job. They're offering a clean bill, buying time to get real appropriations done. Democrats are the ones risking a shutdown to score cheap political points. If they vote no, they own the consequences. This November deadline gives Congress space to debate the real issues without holding the entire country hostage. That's what leadership looks like. That's what accountability looks like. If you agree that Democrats need to stop playing games with our country, drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And again, make sure you hit like and subscribe to Jace Manwa. We're going to keep exposing the truth and standing for America every step of the way.